What's up, guys? Today we're talking about live streaming workouts, more specifically how to add music to your live streams, and it starts right now. So one of the more frequently asked questions I get in this channel is how do I add music to my live streams? And it seems to be something a lot of you are struggling with, so I thought rather than answering it over and over in the comments, let's do a quick video to show you how it's done. Now, right out of the gate, guys, if you're streaming directly on YouTube, there's no easy way to do this. That's not the solution I have for you today. But what you can do, if you want to sign up for a service like StreamYard, it's free. You basically set up an account there and you broadcast from StreamYard to YouTube. It's very simple to do, but it will allow you to actually hack some music in there. I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. All right, guys, so to get started using this, I'm gonna assume you've already signed up for the StreamYard account if you don't already have one. As far as music goes, we have to collect our music first. I use Epidemic Sound. There's multiple places you can go to get your music. I'll put the link for Epidemic Sound below if you're not familiar with it. I've used a lot of different music services. I find Epidemic Sound has the best real sounding music. It doesn't sound like generic beats and stuff, so that's just personal opinion. You can get your music anywhere. So I've already pulled my music, so I'm gonna get rid of this. And I've opened up Premiere Pro. Now, one of the caveats of using StreamYard is that your entire music bed has to be less than 30 megabytes, which can be difficult. But what we're gonna do, I'm thinking of the fact that you're doing this on your own. So you're gonna hit that live button, you're gonna hit your music button. You don't wanna mess with it for a while. So again, I've picked out my music. I'm just grabbing it off my desktop here, and I'm going to bring it into Adobe Premiere. You can use any editing service for this. I just use Premiere because it's what I use. So whether you're using InShot, CapCut, this can be done in any of them. But what we need to do right now is actually mix our music so that it just goes seamlessly, song to song, without us having to hit new songs or anything like that. So I'm gonna drag everything onto the timeline. So there's my sequence there now, if you can see that. Make it a little bigger. So personally, I like my music to kind of flow and not just like start and stop. So what we're gonna do here is actually widen this a bit. You can see where this right here is actually starting to, the song's tapering off. I'm gonna get rid of that, just so we don't have any stoppages when we're doing this. I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna have these overlap a little bit, and I'm gonna add an exponential fade to this one. And I'm gonna stretch it so that it's about, say, we'll say 7 seconds or so. I'm gonna bring this one over so it's a bit the same, and I'm gonna add a constant gain. So, and then I'm gonna stretch that transition, to be with the same amount of time. So now you can see these are gonna actually overlap, which is kind of what we want here. All right, so we're gonna keep going along. What I'm gonna actually do is fast forward this part right now. Okay, guys, so everything is now mixed. And whether or not you wanna add the transitions, like, so what I do, I overlap each track by about 6 or 7 seconds. I add exponential fades to the songs that are leaving us, and then constant gain to the new song that's coming in, and they just basically leave and enter at the same time, so it's very smooth. You can just go back to back with the music, but no matter which way you decide to do it, you do have to use an editing program and set up these songs one after the other so it's one long playing track, because we've only got that one file to put into StreamYard, and we want it to play outright, so we're busy hosting, we're not dealing with music, it's just taking care of itself. So for the export, very basic, I'm just gonna export it as an MP3 because that is the smaller audio file. I don't wanna use WAV or anything like that. You can see in the bottom right corner, the estimated file size is around 21 megabytes. So I probably could have added a couple more songs and still stayed under 30 and probably had about 30 minutes of long playing constant music. I'm just gonna leave it like this for the purpose of what we're doing. So I'm gonna hit export, and that's coming out there now. while that's exporting, I'm gonna pop open StreamYard. All right, so here we are in StreamYard. I'm not gonna give you how to function with StreamYard. If you're new to it, you can just play around with it, because that's kind of a whole different video. I've already set up this recording, and I'm gonna enter studio. And all right, that's just my webcam there. When I go into studio, I'm gonna go into brand. And this is all the different stuff that you can add in StreamYard. Like I've used different things. Like I can add my Instagram handle, buy me coffee. Like I can live icons, whatever you want to add. But we're going down here to where it says background music, and you can see here where it says add music. I'm going to open that, and I'm going to drag the file that I just exported over there. All right, so my file is uploaded there now, and it's ready to go. So if I want to go live and do a workout right now, I've got 22 minutes of continuous play music. All I would do is go live, and before I start, I'm going to hit play, and my music's playing in the background. Now, the other thing too, if you do a lot of really long live streams, like let's say you go 60 minutes, as I said, you can add probably a couple more tracks. Like I think I had 6 tracks in there. You could probably go as high as 8, which would bring you up to 30 megabytes. You can loop this. You can also do a second mix, because there are other places where you can add more music, as you can see in the lower right corner. And that's gonna basically, maybe during a rest period, if your music's starting to wear out, turn that one off, turn the new one on, and you're good for another 25, 30 minutes. So it's gonna be crystal clear. Now, the one thing I have to mention for you guys is to make sure you test your audio levels before you start. This is particularly important if you're not using a microphone when you're actually presenting your videos, because you don't want the music to be louder than your voice and therefore cutting out what you're saying. So get on there with a friend, have them kind of test it out, make sure, let them tell you what they're hearing on the other end. So that's it, guys. You just basically download your music, open your music up in whatever editing software you use, mix it together, export it as one MP3 track, add that track to StreamYard, broadcast from StreamYard to your YouTube channel, and you're good to go with crystal clear sounding music. Hope you enjoy. If you have comments, leave them below. Talk to you guys soon.